Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's had a splendid Sunday. If you hear a child in the background, don't mind that, because got my 10-month-old baby over here crawling on my legs. But after today's, I feel like, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's better. After today's ceremony at church, I finally decided to actually be present in a church again, one that we've been eyeballing for quite some time now. I started watching them last weekend on their online live sessions, and then figured it was such a good and powerful ceremony that I decided to book my medical transport to take me out there this Sunday so I could actually meet everybody in person. Pretty cool story that literally as soon as I got in there, because I was by myself, unfortunately I did not get to take my family, but as soon as I got in there, there's a lady helped me show around, explain me everything, very nice lady. And then she asked me why I chose this church, kind of went into detail explaining all that. And at the end, she gave me her bracelet because she thought that I would make better use out of it than what she does with everything we got in the works right now, going into next year. So because she was so inspired by my story and the mission that I'm set out to try and do, that she wanted me to tell the same story to a bunch of other people, man, my brain is not working today. It was even like this at church when I was trying to talk to people, kept forgetting things. But she wanted me to tell everybody about my story. Some people just overheard conversation, were intrigued by it, and so they wanted to learn more, things like that. And so a couple people that I ended up telling the story to, I didn't realize that they were the directors of the church alongside the pastor. And so after, like, towards the end of the ceremony, they actually had mentioned that they had talked to this nice gentleman about a story and a movement that I'm working on, and felt inspired by it. So then they called my name out to, I don't know, I want to say probably at least 500 people that were there. Might be less, maybe more. I don't know. It's a big place. But he shouted out my name and didn't know where I was sitting, but he made sure to notate that he couldn't see where I was, but was wanting to do a shout out for me. Little did I know that was going to happen. And also little did I know that one of the guys, the director, had told the story and everything that I'm trying to become involved with, not just with the church, but like my own endeavor, which to the population, I'm not going to tell details until we have a little bit more set in stone, but I will keep everybody posted. It's going to benefit a very big group of people, and hoping that it changes the world in a positive way. That's all I'm going to say for now. But they were inspired by it, so I actually went up and introduced myself to the pastor. And after I, asked him to pray over my health and finances and stuff, kind of told him what we've been dealing with lately, and then asked him to present my challenge if that was something they'd be interested in, and then a couple other things. He was pretty much like, "Oh, so you're the Mike that everybody's been talking about today?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it's pretty cool that how if you just learn to not be afraid to put your message out there And don't get me wrong, most people that knew me back in high school and middle school and stuff knew me as a very shy person. Just due to a lot of different humbling experiences that has very much turned around. Because, well, you only get one life to live. Like the old saying, YOLO. But it's true, you only have one life to live, so why not make the most out of it? And I always relate back to a podcast that I used to hear. And even now in this journey of my health, I remind myself about it all the time, how this guy had mentioned that no matter how rough things get in your life, whether you become homeless, whether you become super wealthy, wherever you're at in your journey currently right now, you can recreate a new life every 10 years and basically have like 10 new lives that you experienced and still achieve everything you want to achieve for you in your lifetime. And so to me, that was a very powerful message and a very good perspective on life, because, you know, most of you and I, we all fret about time, and we all fret about the fact that, like, hey, you know, our lives is over, we're wasting time, you know, we feel like nothing ever goes right, which realistically, that type of mindset is a perspective and a mindset shift that people just have to learn, because life is not out to get you. Usually life happens to you because of repetitive decisions that you personally chose to keep making and never learn the lesson on. And so now life is just kind of repeating itself and making you go through that suffering until you learned the true value of that situation and come out of it a better person. And so till you learn that lesson, life is just going to always continue to repeat yourself. That's why it's so important to not live in your fears and to just be willing to just put yourself out there. Now, you may not have like a message or purpose like I'm working on. You may not have like business endeavors and stuff like I'm working on, but you don't have to. You can still get your message and your word out there in any way that you see fit for you and your life. But that's never going to happen if you're not willing to, you know, overcome your fears, overcome new adventures, and be willing to put yourself out there to become vulnerable to whatever community you're putting yourself or wanting to put yourself into. And that literally could be any type of subject, topic, the group, community, whatever, can be literally about. But it's just amazing that, like, you know, if you're willing to put your message out, you can easily inspire someone or a group of people and help them feel better, help them feel acknowledged, help them feel like they're not alone in their journey. And I think that's such a powerful thing. Honestly, I have so many people who truly actually know what I'm going through, because you guys might see me post stuff here and there and think that you know the whole story, but I literally just only post about fragments of what's going on. I don't actually post the details and everything that I'm dealing with or what my illnesses are related to, things like that. There's fragments of it, but there's a lot that's left out, so the mass population doesn't necessarily know the whole story. But for those who do, a lot of people wonder how I still stay so positive and so encouraged to keep doing things. And I actually had a talk last night with what used to be a stranger and someone who actually has turned into a good friend. At least I consider them to be a good friend. I don't know if it's mutual or not, but at least I consider them to be a good friend. You know, we shared a common interest when we both left the same place to pursue the same thing, but we different stages of life, didn't even know each other at the time. We just had gotten contact, and then from there, we've just gotten closer through communication. And so they are going through a personal journey themselves, and I'm not going to say details because, it's not my business to share, and it's nobody else's business. That's for him to describe and tell on his own behalf. But he's going through a personal journey and was kind of curious at how I stay so mentally strong. And I think a lot of it is perspective. A lot of what I'm going through, will be going through, and have gone through has been a pretty humbling experience for me, to say the least. I was always that person that was go, 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 go. Always had that entrepreneur mindset, 50 projects at hand. Didn't know how I was going to accomplish all 50, but, we were constantly running the mind on how to get there. And so now this journey has kind of, people are home. Be back. But as I was saying, this journey has really humbled me and really slowed me down. It's allowed me to really appreciate and be grateful for the present, where I was always so focused in the future. Now, unfortunately, it sucks that, we had to have a crippling medical illness in order for it to do that. But you know what? Life happens in certain ways. We don't ever understand why, but we can try to understand the lesson that might be learned from it. And so that's really where it comes from at that point. But a lot of it is really always, trying to challenge myself. And for any of you out there that is dealing and suffering from the same stuff, I'd encourage you to do the same thing. Challenge yourself mentally. We all know how to challenge ourselves physically, whether that be a gym, go on a jog. Maybe we get in a slump and we challenge ourselves physically in weight, and we gain this weight that we don't want. And then that becomes a whole new challenge in a different aspect. But I challenge you to positively challenge yourself mentally in different avenues. Anything that you may wanted to do, might have feared to do, might have thought about doing, I encourage you to do those. If it scares you, then it's better. Because obviously with everything I've gone through and losing everything that I've lost in my life, I could easily slip down the slope of depression and suicide and things like that, but I don't. Obviously, there's no value in that, and not only are you harming yourself, but you're harming others in the path, secretly. I know people in that mindset don't actually think like that, but obviously we all know that is an actual thing. And so I could easily slip down that slope, but I don't. I choose to find the light at the end of the tunnel in every situation I'm going through, no matter how tough or how much adversity I have to overcome. The key is to always challenge yourself mentally, and then also get yourself a good therapist, counselor, somebody that can help see through to the vision that you're looking for, whether that be you want to be in a good, healthy relationship, whether you want to accomplish a big business, whether you just want to be able to wake up, be able to smile, and be thankful for the day. It can be as little or big as you want to interpret the meaning to, but you just want to challenge yourself mentally and also seek help in the process of that. And the two combined go a long way. And kind of joining with the challenging yourself mentally, you want to make sure to keep yourself productive and busy. And productive and busy could be literally anything. You don't even have to leave the house in order to to accomplish that. Like, it can be as much as reading a book or writing in a journal or something. You just want to constantly keep yourself mentally going and also challenging yourself at the same time. And by doing that, the psychology behind it is you're pretty much almost tricking your mind into small little accomplishments every single day. And so consistently with those small accomplishments, you start feeling better about yourself. It just naturally, due to the psychology of it, you start feeling happier, you start feeling better. And so the more you continue to do it, the more you gain the knowledge and the ability to understand why you're going through those tribulations in your life and why there's such a struggle to you. And obviously, if you don't do any of that, then you allow your mind to become bored, unoccupied, and when you become bored and unoccupied, most people either binge eat, lay in bed, or they start thinking about all the things that could go wrong, even though they never do go wrong. Because we all live our mindset in the past rather than the present or the future. And so we're always worrying about what we used to have happen to us that is now already over, but it triggers a trauma in our brain that still affects us into the present time. So you just got to understand those triggers. You got to get deep down to yourself, trick your mind by being busy and challenging yourself. And personally for me, doing all those things, and there's other things too, but I'm going to make a different video on it just so this doesn't become an hour-long video. But those are just kind of the building principles that I utilize to keep myself out of that slippery slope. And through the experience, I've learned that there's a greater purpose that my life has for me that I didn't ever know before until now, and I'm utilizing that now. So yeah, I'm going to keep on this topic about mental health because I've learned through this health journey of just how important it is. And a lot of what I'm doing going forward is around mental health, including all the people that, I personally know that ask me about it, the people that personally message and reach out to me through my content that I'm creating and ask me about it. I obviously don't mind sharing it with you guys anymore. I've gotten over that fear barrier, and I'd love to tell or help anybody who's going through a mental health journey. Not all things you may like what I have to say, and that's fine. And some things may not work for you the way they do for me. But it's all in figuring out what does work for you, and at least having that stepping stone to be able to make your first step with, because that's the most important part with mental health, is taking that first step. And so I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with this 10-15 minute video over another topic of mental health, but church just really inspired me today. I'm really grateful for the fact that I decided to go, even though I had to go by myself. And those of you know the situation, the last time I was by myself, something terrible happened. So we were hoping and praying that was not going to be the case the second time around, and it wasn't, and it ended up being a very good experience. And so I'm very glad that I went. So until the next video, God bless, love you all, and stay beautiful. Till next one, bye.